Dear sports friends, hello everyone, I'm Andras from Hungary. It's almost the middle of December, but it's still not possible skiing in Hungary. So in order not to bore you, I will tell you a very interesting canoeing story. It must have been around 1970 when a new coach came to our club. Uncle Erwin was a short man, but very strong despite his looks. Moreover, he was a very good coach. In those days, coaches were not pampered with motorboats, and he had to hold their first training sessions on the beach while we rode. He accompanied us from the beach on his bicycle. Despite this, he kept training sessions very hard. He always said, "I don't want to get muscle cramps. I'm just going to do a light workout today." Then some of us didn't come to training the next day because we had muscle cramps. Then he got his first speedboat. It was a simple wooden boat, but with a very good motor. If I remember correctly, he had a Yamaha engine. After that, we did a lot of training on the water. One day, it was a Sunday, we went by canoe quite far from Budapest. The distance was about 24 kilometers there and back. During that time, we did several 500-meter sections. At one point, we took a short break, drank some water, had an apple, and then headed back. It was very tiring. He chased us from his motorboat and kept criticizing our canoeing technique. We were exhausted. At one point, we couldn't hear his voice anymore. We looked back, but he was gone. We reached the boathouse. We thought the training was over. We went ashore and put our canoes in place. Suddenly, we saw Uncle Erwin in the middle of the Danube. For some reason, the boat engine had stopped. He was standing in his boat trying to start the engine. Meanwhile, we noticed a large passenger boat, the Kossuth, approaching from the south in the middle of the Danube. It was a steamer with huge wheels on each side. It was making huge waves. We watched from the shore as this big steamer headed towards Uncle Erwin. Our coach kept trying to start the engine, but the steamer kept coming closer and closer. Uncle Erwin stood up in his boat and tried to warn the captain to get out of the way with hand signals. I don't know what happened to the captain, maybe he fell asleep, but the fact is he didn't seem to want to get out of the way. It was obvious that it was going to be a disaster, because the boat was heading straight for Uncle Erwin's speedboat. The steamer was only 20 yards away. From the shore we shouted, "Uncle Erwin, jump out!" He held on until the last moment. The steamer was only 5 meters from the boat when he finally jumped out and swam quickly to shore. The boat got under one of the paddle wheels, which chopped it into firewood. Poor Uncle Erwin lay on the beach, soaked, shivering and desperate. Then we saw the petrol tank floating on the water surface. The engine had run out of petrol. That's why he couldn't start it. The petrol tank was connected to the engine via a hose. The hose did not break, and the empty petrol tank kept the engine afloat. It was truly a miracle. We fished the engine out of the water in good working order. Uncle Erwin was given a plastic boat on which he could mount the engine and continue his trainings. If you like this story, subscribe to my channel and like me. Best wishes.